that this car is still going. When I bought this car, I said if it gets to 200,000 miles, I'd be happy. Well, here we are rolling on 222,000 miles. Car's not even warmed up, mind you. Oh wow, thanks, Hoss. Why is it every time I record, somebody drives like an idiot? Just run the stoplight. Oh yeah, when I bought this car, I expected 200,000 miles out of her, and that was it. That's all I expected. But I got a lot more than that out of her, and she's still going. Yeah, Big Bertha, keep your clicking going. Keep clicking. Yeah, that's something that she's been doing for over a year now. The light control, LCM, the light control module, the relay inside it, for some reason clicks for no reason. It doesn't make the signal blink though, but it clicks. Little background here on how I ended up with Big Bertha. I had a car before her named Danny. It was a wrecked 2002 Grand Marquis GS in white. It was a Florida car. The frame was black. It was absolutely beautiful, besides the fact that it looked like somebody punched its eye out. I wrecked it right before 2020, and then 2020 hit, and as you would know, I could not work. I couldn't make money to get a car. So I was without a car for like 3 months. I had Brenda, but she was put away for the winter and obviously was knocking. Well, the good old relief payment came around, and the first car lot I went to, Blaze Auto Sales in Sandusky, Ohio, had this beautiful unit sitting there. And as soon as I got in this car, I immediately knew that I needed to grab it and take her home. Well, they were asking $1,600 for her, and I got them down to $1,200 because the wipers didn't work. Easy fix. I immediately went to go put gas in her though, right after buying her, and fuel went all over the asphalt underneath the car. What happened was somebody actually siphoned fuel out of the car while it was sitting at the car lot, because the car lot was closed in February of 2020. So I managed to get her to take fuel. I drove her home. I bought the fuel filler neck for $70, threw that in there, and then immediately drove her every day. And within a month, I had put over 1,000 miles on her. She had 156,000 miles on her, as I already had 157,000 miles. A couple more weeks passed, and I was approaching 158,000 miles, and then all of a sudden, here we got a road trip coming up. So I thought, okay, well, I'll just take her on that road trip. We drove all the way from New London, Ohio to Mackinac City, Michigan, straight through. The car did fantastic. Didn't even care. This car did not care. Drove all the way back, no problem. I was already at 160,000 miles. It was just insane. Then I decided I'm going to stay at my current job to enjoy the summer, and then before I knew it, December came around real fast, and I needed to get a better job because I wanted to move. Well, I got a better job, but it was 55 miles away from where I lived. So At that point, I was now commuting 55 miles each way. That's 110 miles a day, 5 to 6 days a week. And again, Big Bertha was laughing at it. I had to also get her caught up on maintenance. She was really behind on maintenance, literally everything. The transmission fluid, the spark plugs, the fuel filter. And I didn't even do it all right away. And she still didn't care. It was just insane what this car has done for me. Then, after I had all the maintenance caught up, another road trip came up. I drove this car straight through all the way from Ohio to Florida. She didn't even care. 80 miles an hour down the interstate, 25 miles to the gallon. She did not care. Literally insane. I'm going to fill her up. We're at 216,000 miles. But I will get back to you guys after that. Oh, we got some more miles to go. Big Bertha, you keep clicking. Yeah, guys, usually I don't even hear that noise. Usually I have her stereo cranked way up. That's another thing I should talk about. The stock speakers in this car are a real champ. They sound better than a lot of aftermarket speakers, and they've held up to my abuse for quite a while. Literally. Alright, well, back to the Florida thing. I drove her down to Florida, absolutely no issues. Drove straight through this car. The only time this engine was not running was when I was filling it up. It literally was totally heat soaked by the time I got down there, and it did not care. I idled with the AC on down in Florida for like an hour, and it didn't care. It's just insane. Drove it all the way back up, absolutely enjoyed the trip. And I'd blame it on this car's pure comfort and the ride quality of this car. Because without that ride comfort, I'd be fatigued a lot quicker, and that would not let me drive straight through like that. But because I had so little fatigue, I was able to just drive straight through. It was pretty amazing. Well, I got back. I ended up wanting to change jobs again. I decided to go try out truck driving. Well, the company that I got hired by was 3 hours away, so I was again driving this car far every week, 3 hours. I was staying down there every week, so I would leave on Monday morning, drive 3 hours down there, then leave there Friday afternoon, drive 3 hours back, so that's about 6 hours of driving every week. And then the second month of that, I had an issue where I couldn't drive across the state line because apparently my vision wasn't good enough to do that, according to the state of Ohio. So they had me on running a day run, so I was actually daily driving this car 2 hours to one of their yards. So 2 hours one way to their yard, I was dailying this car. And this car again laughed at it. I ended up leaving that job, and I ended up at my current job back in 2021, which, again, I lived in New London, Ohio. My current job is in Rossford, Ohio, so I was actually staying with my dad during the week. He's 30 minutes from Rossford, and I stayed there, and then I would go home 2.5 hours one way back home every weekend, and then do the same thing to come back up. So that was probably the most miles that this car was making a month. And thanks to the money that this car has saved me, I was able to buy a house. This car saved me so much money. It's literally printing money every month. buying the house, I was just very proud of this car at this point. It was 2022, and fuel prices started to go off the wall, so I actually contemplated on selling this car, and I just could not because I was too attached. I tried several times and failed miserably because it's almost like I got car sick from missing the car too much at the thought of selling her. I actually had a dream that she got stolen, so I kept her. Fuel prices thankfully went back down. I mean, she's real good on fuel, but man, it was just insane. Hey, we just rolled over 220. Got a lot more time. Big Bertha, I want to tell you something. If you blew up right now, you wouldn't owe me anything. I appreciate everything you got me through, and hopefully you got much more in you. I'm sure you do. Well, your clicking stopped, so that's a start. Really, Big Bertha? One thing I want to address is that people in the Facebook group, I'm tired of respecting all bills, tried to roast this car. And then they got all butthurt and upset when I told them the car cost me $1,200 and only $400 in repairs. And they were actually bragging how their $20,000 plus daily drivers were so nice. Like, seriously, I'm riding on a leather couch right now, surrounded by real chrome. Fake wood, but hey, they gotta cut corners somewhere. And a car that will literally outlast everything except for that GMT 100 right there. I don't know, it might outlast the GMT 100. They're both the Panthers and the GMT 100s are both tanks. Absolute tanks. Literally absolute tanks. And we got 1 mile to go, just about. I am overexcited. I am going to pull over for this and give you guys a gander at this damn thing. Sitting at 222,000 miles. Better start slowing down now, actually. .1 more to go. We just did it. Oh my God. Holy. Oh man. Really, Big Bertha, I can't believe this. I mean, I can, but that is satisfying. Noting where we're at, we got some mean looking storm in front of me that's heading down south. Field there. But of course, it wouldn't be the same without a wide open throttle pull.